I'm recommending post-operative electrical calf muscle stimulation.
Okay, I'm suggesting dextrum infusions every other day for a week.
Late night doctors?
Obviously, you haven't heard we have a very active, very engaged baby.
She's a budding night owl. She doesn't cry or anything. She just wants to hang out with us.
Yeah, even when we're poring over autopsy reports.
I will never understand you doctors. Autopsy reports? Is this your idea of a little late night reading?
It was time well spent.
Yeah, and the autopsy in question concerns Brianna Hughes.
We may have found a lead.
Yeah, something that proves that she didn't die because of any negligence on Matt's part.
Oh, well, that'll help you. What do you guys think was the cause of death?
In our opinion, murder.
Mayor's wife, 3 o'clock.
Dr. Drake, I've been looking for you.
I don't think we should talk without our lawyers present.
I can't wait for that. I have a confession to make. This is not easy for me to admit, so I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid and get on with it. I hired a private investigator to follow my husband. I suspected the affair with Brianna Hughes. I needed some proof.
I'm sure that was a very difficult decision for you. I'm just not sure why you're sharing that with us.
The PI that I hired, Sam McCall, was following Garrett the day of Brianna's unfortunate accident. I'm just afraid if this lawsuit gains traction, then Miss McCall comes forward, this whole thing will just blow up. My husband is up for re-election. There is no way he would survive this kind of scandal.
That's very generous of you. I mean, most women would say it's what he deserved.
My husband and I are partners. I had my own ambition once upon a time, but I gave it all up to back my husband's political advancement. His goals were my goals, his career, mine. If this incident derails Garrett's trajectory, well, you get the picture. So I am begging you, please settle this lawsuit out of court as quickly and as quietly as possible.
At the risk of sounding unsympathetic, I'm more concerned with my career and my brother's than I am yours and your husband's.
Open.
Well, the assistant said to come right in, so...
I guess we wait. Anyway, it gives us a chance to perfect our presentation. So, what are you going to say?
Okay. So I think I'm just going to hit the mayor with the facts and walk through a recreation of what we think really happened in the hotel room.
Then you think he's going to fall out on his knees, blurt out a confession?
No. Okay, well then, I'll make the mayor think that we're on his side and that we're trying to reconcile the story with newly found evidence.
Then he'll say, what evidence?
Whose side are you on here?
I just don't want to blow this.
I have a full day scheduled, and since you didn't bother to make an appointment, I'm afraid I don't have time.
Mayor, this won't take a lot of time. We're just trying to get some questions answered about how Brianna really suffered those head injuries.
If you don't have time to talk to us, that's fine. I'll send my Uncle Mac over here, and you can explain it to him.
Your wife has come to me twice, begging me and my brother to settle the lawsuit out of court, saying that if we fight it, it will cause damage to your career that will be beyond repair.
Andrea's right. She usually is. I ran as a law and order candidate. Sonny Corinthos and his merry band of mobsters have dealt a blow to that image. The fact that I cheated on my wife with my assistant, who ended up dead, would nail that into the ground. So yes, my career in politics would be over.
Tragic. Not as tragic as a young woman enthralled with a man in position and power going into an affair and meeting with a fatal accident. Especially if it wasn't an accident.
What do you mean?
Well, Mayor, I'm speaking to you as a doctor, also a man that's had plenty of shower sex. It was apparent to me right away that the head injury that Brianna sustained was much more serious than the story that you told us. The autopsy came back. Brianna suffered 2 head injuries in the exact same place.
2? How is that possible?
Well, I was wondering that myself, and then I asked, maybe Brianna was making demands that you didn't want to meet. Maybe she wanted to go public with the affair, and you wanted to take care of that, make it look like an accident.
I suppose I understand your suspicion, Dr. Drake. But you're way off course. Look, I didn't kill Brianna. I couldn't have. I was in love with her. I know this may sound hard to believe, but I got into politics because I thought I could make a difference. I was idealistic, innocent of the realities of what it meant to be a public servant. But I had to learn that after I was elected, I would spend the majority of my time negotiating the keeping of the power. Because without the power, nothing gets done. But truth is, it really doesn't matter. Because you're so busy spending all of your time negotiating the power. The next thing you know, you are in this endless, soulless struggle. Whatever was bright and shining inside of you just dies. Look, my wife, our relationship was grounded in mutual ambition. And when the bloom came off the rose, that went hollow too. And then Brianna walked into this office, and all of a sudden, a little light came through. When she looked at me, she saw the better man that I used to be. I was going to ask my wife for a divorce. Let the chips fall where they may. That's how much I loved Brianna. So if you're telling me that she was murdered, I want to know who did it.
And that was the first time I think the mayor's ever had an honest moment.
Really? You believed him?
Yeah, didn't you?
I'm not sure. He had time to come up with a whole cover story where you laid out the case for him like a present.
This is your fault. You botched the surgery. Your incompetence killed Brianna Hughes.
That is not
And because you're too much of a
true.
coward to admit it, my husband's going to be ruined.